Hi students, a warm welcome to KSM classes. In this video, we will discuss a position of a point with respect to a circle, position of a line with respect to a circle, definition of the tangent, secant, chord and all. So first of all, we will denote the circle by S. Let S x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0 be a circle. I will write some notations here. Number 1, S1 x1 square plus S1 xx1 plus yy1 plus g into x plus x1 plus f into y plus y1 plus c. Now S11 x1 square plus y1 square plus 2gx1 plus 2fy1 plus c. This is S12 x1 x2 plus y1 y2 plus g into x1 plus x2 plus f into y1 plus y2 plus c. Like that you can write S21, S22 and all. Now I will consider a circle S equal 0. From now onwards we will call the circle as S equal 0. These are the notations. These are the notations which we are going to use. Instead of saying the complete equation like this, complete value like this, we can call S1 equals 0. So you can put a 0 here. S11, S12 like that. Now I will consider a point and a circle and I will see how the point will be and how it behaves, whether it is inside the circle or around the circle or outside the circle, how it behaves. Now position of a point with respect to a circle S equal to 0. I will consider a circle. Let the circle be S equal to 0. That means x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0. Now the center of the circle is minus g comma minus f. The radius is r. Let p x1 y1 position of point with respect to cycle. Let p x1 y1 be a point in the plane. Let p x1 y1 be a point in the plane. Now in the case 1, we will consider point to be inside p x1 y1. What happens? Now I will join CP. Now here, if I produce the line up to here, it will be equal to r. Therefore here, case 1, let P be inside the circle. If P is inside the circle, what is going to happen? CP is less than r. That implies CP square is less than r square. I mean CP square x1 plus g whole square plus y1 plus f whole square less than r square. R square is g square plus f square minus c. I will simplify it. x1 square plus, I will write y1 square plus 2g x1 plus 2f y1 plus g square plus f square less than g square plus f square minus c. I will cancel these two so that I will get x1 square plus y1 square plus 2g x1 plus 2f y1 plus c less than 0. From the notations I can call it as S11 less than 0. Therefore, if the point is inside the circle, S11 is less than 0. Now I will consider the second case. What is the second case? If I take the point on the circle, for example, I will take the circle like this. Let it be S equal to 0. Let this be the center C minus G minus F. Let this point be P x1, y1 and this is R. Now P is on the circle S is equal to 0. Then what happens? It implies, of course implied by if necessary, Cp is equal to R. Implies it is implied by Cp square is equal to R square. Implies it is implied by x1 square plus y1 square plus 2gx1 plus 2fy1 plus g square plus f square is equal to g square plus f square minus c. You can cancel these two. Implies it is implied by x1 square plus y1 square plus 2gx1 plus 2fy1 plus c is equal to 0. Implies and is implied by s11 is equal to c. This is the second condition. Now I will consider the third one. I will take the PB. P is outside the circle. P is outside the circle. Now I will consider the circle like this. I will consider the circle like this. This circle is S is equal to 0. Its center is C minus G minus F. You take the point like this, CP. Now CP is greater than R. This is greater than R. So P is outside circle. Implies and is implied by CP greater than R. Implies and is implied by x1 plus x1 plus g whole square plus y1 plus f whole square is greater than R. So it implies x1 square plus y1 R is equal R square CP square. So is equal to g square plus f square minus c. I will write it right because all are same. x1 square plus y1 square plus 2gx1 plus 2fy1. You can cancel g square and f square plus c greater than 0. Implies and is implied by s11 greater than 0. Here also you can write this implies, you can write like this x1 plus g whole square plus y1 plus f whole square is equal to g square plus f square minus c if you need. You can also write like that. So S11 greater than 0. So with this we come to a conclusion that if S is equal to 0 is a circle whose center is C and radius R, then let Px1 will be a point in the plane. Now if the point P is inside the circle, then CP less than R and we'll get like this. Now if P is on the circle, we'll get C11 is equal to 0 and P is outside the circle, we'll get C11 greater than 0. So here this is about the position of a point with respect to a circle. Now I take a circle and a line. Now I take a circle and a line. I will consider a circle. I will consider a circle. Let the circle be S is equal to 0. I will take a line. In general, a straight line will cut the circle in 2 points. Let those 2 points be P and Q. In general, the circle will cut, the line will cut the circle in 2 points, P and Q. Now here, in 2 distinct points, P and Q. Now here, I can say, let S is equal to 0 be a circle, comma L is equal to 0 be a straight line. Be a straight line. Now here, this cuts the circle in 2 points. Now, if L is equal to 0, cuts the circle into real and distinct points, then it is called a secant line. Then it is called as a secant line. So this is a secant. Now, the segment between P and Q, the segment between P and Q. Now, the segment, the line segment PQ is called, the line segment PQ is called chord on the circle. Chord on the circle. PQ is called length of the chord. PQ is called length of the chord. Length of the chord. Now, here, if you consider like this, this is if this point Q, that means one of the extremity of the chord. One of the extremity of the chord. If a line carries a circle in 2 points P and Q, if one of the extremity of the chord moves along the path of the curve and approaches the other extremity P, then the limiting position of the secant is called the tangent at P. For example, if it moves like this, if it comes out here, the line will be like this. The secant will become like this. If it comes here, the secant will become like this. If it comes here, the secant will become like this. Like this, if it moves like this and if it approaches the second extremity P or approaches the P, then it will become like this. Therefore, this is called as the tangent at P. So, if a line, if L equals 0 cuts a circle in 2 real and distinct points, then it is called a secant. The line segment PQ is called the chord on the circle, PQ is called length of the chord. If one extremity Q of the chord moves along the path of the curve, and approaches the other extremity then other extremity P, then the limiting position of secant PQ is called tangent at P. Is called tangent at P, and P is called point of tangency or tangential point or point of contact. So this is the definition. So limit Q tends to P, secant PQ is equal to tangent at P. I'll show this is one. Now, if I consider the circle like this and if the line is like this, then this is called P, the point of contact, and this is called tangent at P to the circle. Tangent at P to the circle. Now, so this is about the tangent and secant. Now we'll discuss the different points again. Now I'll consider the definition of the tangent in a different way also. Tangent to a circle. If a line cuts a circle in 2 coincident points, coincident points, then the line is called tangent to the circle at the point of coincidence. At the point of coincidence. You can also define the circle like this. So the tangent is nothing but the line which cuts the circle in two coincident points. That I mean to say, as in the previous case, P and Q are coincident and both will come here, both will approach each other at this point, and this is called a tangent at P. So this is one. Now I will discuss the different positions of a line with respect to a circle. Now, different positions of a line with respect to a circle, different positions of a line with respect to a circle. Let S equal to 0 be a circle with center C and radius R. Let L is equal to 0 be a straight line in the plane. In the plane of the circle or in the plane. Now I will consider the case 1. I will consider the circle like this. I will take a straight line which cuts the circle in 2 points. Whenever it cuts the circle in 2 points, then it is called as the secant. I will take this one as C. This is the radius. CM is the radius. If I call this as N, then Cn is the distance. Now, let L is equal to 0 be a straight line in the plane. The perpendicular distance from C to the line L equal to 0 is D. Now number 1. Here the line cuts the circle in 2 points. Now it being intersecting the circle in 2 points, the perpendicular distance from center to the line. Now perpendicular distance from center to the line, is less than the radius. It is very clear from the figure that this is the perpendicular distance from center to the line and this is the radius. It implies D is less than R. Now coming to the second condition. Now we will consider a circle, and here in this case the line touches the circle. So at this point P, that means the 2 points of intersection are coincident here. Now let this be C. You join this. This is radius R. This itself is the perpendicular distance, you can call D. So here the line touches the circle. Implies and is implied by D is equal to R. That is, or otherwise you can also write like this. The perpendicular distance, if you want you can write like this. Perpendicular distance from center to the line is equal to radius. Implies and is implied by D is equal to R. I will take the third case. I will consider the circle like this. I'll take a line, the line is completely outside the circle. It neither cuts nor touches the circle. Let this be a center. This is a P, this is a R, and this complete distance is D. You can call some M, and this is perpendicular. Here, the line is a completely outside the circle. Completely outside circle. That is, the line neither cuts nor touches the circle. Nor touches the circle. Implies perpendicular distance from center to the line. From center to the line is equal to radius. Sorry, is greater than radius. Sorry, greater than radius. Implies D greater than R. So this is the case. Next. Now these are the different positions of a line with respect to a circle. So the line may cut the circle, the line may touch the circle, or the line will be completely outside the circle. Now I'll consider one more and discuss the length of the chord. If a line cuts in 2 points, I'll discuss the length of the chord. How to get the length of the chord. Length of the chord. Let S equal to 0 be the circle with the center C and radius R. With center C and radius R. Let L equal to 0 be a line cuts the circle at P and Q. The perpendicular distance from center to the line BD. Now I'll consider a circle. I'll consider a circle like this. This is SC is equal to 0. This is L is equal, this is the center C, and this is the line L equal to 0, which cuts the circle at P and Q. Now I will consider this one. This is the radius R. Here C be the center and R be the radius. I will join like this. So this is the radius R. When these two are the, here CP is R and CQ is R, therefore this triangle is isosceles. If I drop a perpendicular from center to the line, it being an isosceles triangle and it is the point of intersection of the equal sides. Now if I drop a perpendicular from here, it will meet at the midpoint. This is a concept in the isosceles triangle. Okay, from this point, which is the point of intersection of the equal sides, if you drop a perpendicular, that will become the altitude. The altitude will meet the opposite side PQ at the midpoint. This itself will become the median and also the angular bisector, perpendicular bisector, everything. In case of the isosceles triangle. Of course, if you drop a perpendicular from P to the line CQ, that will become an altitude. It will not become the median or anything. Okay, so this is the midpoint. Now this is a D. This is a perpendicular distance 90. Now M is the midpoint, means here from the triangle, now from triangle, we'll do one thing. We'll write this one also. Draw the line CM, perpendicular to PQ from center C. implies M is the midpoint of PQ. M is the midpoint of PQ. From triangle CPM, now PM square is equal to CP square minus CM square, implies PM is equal to CP is the radius R square minus CM is the perpendicular distance D square. Now PQ, length of the chord PQ is equal to 2PM is equal to 2 into root of R square minus D square. This is the length of the chord PQ. 2PM is equal to 2 into root of R square minus D square. So here D can be calculated by taking the perpendicular distance from center to the line, and R is the radius given from the circle, and you can calculate 2 into root of R square minus D square. Now, instead of giving the line equation, if the line equation is not given, this point is given, for example. Now I'll take this to be minus G comma minus F. Now how to find out the length of the chord in this context? Now here D is equal to CM is equal to x1 plus G whole square plus y1 plus F whole square under root. So it implies D square is equal to D square equal to x1 square plus y1 square plus 2g x1 plus 2f y1 plus g square plus f square. Now here R is equal to square root of g square plus f square minus c. Now I will consider PQ is equal to, just now we have taken PQ equal to 2 into root of R square minus d square. So PQ square equal to 2 into R square minus d square. So 2 into R square. What is R square? G square plus f square minus c minus x1 square plus y1 square plus 2g x1 plus 2f y1 plus g square plus f square. Now you can write it as, it implies PQ square is equal to, now you can write it as 2 into, here g square gets cancelled by this cancel. Now this is 2 into minus 2 into, otherwise you take minus comma, minus 2 into x1 square plus y1 square plus 2g x1 plus 2f y1 plus minus common x1 square plus y1 square plus 2g x1 plus 2f. Here minus c is there, minus common c. So this is a minus 2 into S11. It implies PQ is equal to square root of minus 2 into S11. Minus 2 into S11. Some fellows may get doubts. Here minus 2 into S11 means it is negative. How can we get the result? Now here PQ square is equal to this one. PQ square equal to 2 into root of R square minus D square. Right. PQ square means, this is a 4 into root of R square minus D square. So this is also 4 into root of R square minus D square. This is minus 4. So 2 into 4 into minus S11. So 2 into root of minus S11 is the, because from the previous case we have considered PQ equal to 2 into root of R square minus D square. So PQ square equal to 4 into R square minus D square, this one. 2 into. Now we may get that out. Here PQ equal to 2 into root of minus S1. This is negative. How can we get this correct? But this is not negative, because since the midpoint M, of the chord PQ is inside the circle. Inside the circle implies S11 negative, implies minus S11 is positive. So, if the line is given, as in the previous case, we can calculate PQ equal to into root of R square minus S square. If the midpoint is given but the equation is not given, then you can do one thing. Simply, you can straight away, you can apply the formula. Of course, without applying that formula also you can calculate. Because by knowing the point M and C, you can find out the slope. Now this line being perpendicular to the CM, you can get the slope of this line. With the help of the point, you can get the equation of the line also. But it is not necessary. Whenever M is known to us, simply D is equal to or CM. So D square equal to this one, that is something like this. And R is equal to root of G square plus F square minus C, and PQ square is this one. So PQ equal to 2 into root of minus S11, which is the length of the chord whose midpoint is S11. So in this context, you can find out like this. So next one. So now I'll consider a circle. I'll consider one circle. Now I'll discuss the intercepts. If a circle makes an intercept on the x-axis and if a circle makes an intercept on the y-axis. So let S equal to 0 be a circle whose center is a C minus G comma minus F and radius R. Now case 1. If G square minus C greater than 0, then the intercept made by S is equal to 0 on x-axis is 2 into root of G square minus C. If F square minus C greater than 0, then the intercept made by S equal to 0 on y-axis is 2 into root of F square minus C. I will prove the first one. Let this be the coordinate axis. This is the x-axis. Of course, this is y-axis. This is the origin. You take the circle like this. ఈ సర్కిల్ ఎక్కడ కట్ చేస్తుందంటే AB దగ్గర కట్ చేస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఇది సెంటర్ C. సెంటర్ C. ఇది x1, 0. ఇది x2, 0. Now, this is the radius R. You can find out the midpoint also. Midpoint ఎంత అవుతుంది ఇక్కడ? x1 plus x2 by 2, 0. ఇలా తీసుకోవచ్చు. తప్పేంది, ఇలా తీసుకోవచ్చు. ఇలా లేదంటే మిడ్ పాయింట్ లేకుండా తీసుకోవచ్చు. ది సర్కిల్ ఈస్ పాసింగ్ త్రూ x1, 0. Now, the circle cuts x-axis at A x1, 0, B x2, 0 implies length of the intercept or this is the intercept AB. AB is the intercept made by the circle on the x-axis. I mean, under AB ఎంత అవుతుందంటే మాడ్యులస్ ఆఫ్ x1 minus x2. x1 minus x2 అన్నా x2 minus x1 అన్నా ఏం పర్లేదు. ఇప్పుడు ఇది తీసుకుందాం. Here AB equal to x1 minus x2. This equation is y equal to 0. X-axis. Now y equal to 0. Now since the circle cuts x-axis, put y equal to 0 in S equal to 0. We have what happens? x square plus 2gx plus c equal to 0. I will call this as 1. Now here the discriminant delta is equal to 4 into g square minus c greater than 0, because g square minus c is given to be greater than 0. Therefore this quadratic, this circle is intersecting the x-axis in 2 points, because the discriminant of the quadratic equation is greater than 0. It will possess 2 real and distinct roots. So x1 comma x2. Now here sum of the roots. So what is the sum of the roots? x1 plus x2 is equal to minus 2g, because it is intersecting at 2 points. So these two are observed to be the roots. And they can comment let the two roots be x1 comma x2. Now x1 x2 is equal to c by a, c. Now x1 minus x2 is equal to square root of x1 square plus x1 plus x2 whole square minus 4x1 x2. This is equal to square root of 4 into, this is x1 plus x2 minus 2g, 4g square minus 4c. You can take 4 common and bring it outside. Root of g square minus c, which is equal to ab. So that is the length of the insect. So this is therefore length of the insect made by s equal to 0 on x-axis. Second point, length of the insect made by s equal to 0 on y-axis. Length of the insect made by is equal to 2 into root of g square minus c. This is equal to 2 into root of f square minus c. You can take the circle like this and let this be the y-axis and let it be the x-axis. This is the a 0 comma y1, b 0 comma y2, and this is a x is equal to 0. You can do by the same method. Put x equal to 0 in the equation, you will get a quadratic equation y, and you will get this one. So this is about the y-intercept. Now, if at all, if g square minus c equals 0, what happens? Now I go through a few points to be noted. So the intercept made by the x-axis of the circle on the x-axis is 2 into root of g square minus c. Now note, suppose g square minus c equal to 0, implies that length of the insect, that means it is also not necessary, you consider the circle like this. This is y-axis, this is the x-axis, because if g square minus c equals 0, the length of the insect made by the circle on x-axis is 0. That means the 2 points A and B are coincident. When A and B are coincident, the circle touches the x-axis. Suppose g square minus c equals 0. Here A comma B are coincident. In the previous case of this A comma B. I mean A comma B are coincident. And AB equal to M 0. Implies the circle S equal to 0 touches the x-axis. Touches the x-axis. Alage రెండో పాయింట్ తీసుకుంటే సపోజ్ f స్క్వేర్ మైనస్ c ఈక్వల్ టు 0, అప్పుడేమవుతుంది? f స్క్వేర్ మైనస్ c ఈక్వల్ 0 అయితే ఇలా ఉంటుంది. ఇది x యాక్సిస్, ఇది y యాక్సిస్. సర్కిల్ ఇలా టచ్ చేస్తుంది, ఇలా టచ్ చేస్తుంది. ఇది సెంటర్, ఇది మైనస్ g కమా మైనస్ f అని తీసుకోవచ్చు. ఏమి సెంటర్ మైనస్ g కమా మైనస్ f అని. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది? ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుందంటే here also length of the intercept అంటే the a comma b are coincident అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది implies s is equal to 0 touches y-axis. So if the circle cuts the x-axis, then the intercept made by the circle on the x-axis is 2 into root of g square minus c. If it cuts the y-axis, then the intercept is 2 into root of f square minus c. If g square minus c equals 0, of course you can write g square is equal to c also. Here also f square is equal to c. ఇలా ఇప్పుడు ఇలా కండిషన్ వస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఒకవేళ ఇంకొక కండిషను మూడో కండిషన్ ఇలా తీసుకుంటే ఒకవేళ సపోజ్ g స్క్వేర్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎఫ్ స్క్వేర్ ఈక్వల్ టు సి అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది ఈ సర్కిల్ g స్క్వేర్ ఈక్వల్ సి అంటే x యాక్సిస్ టచ్ చేస్తుంది, f స్క్వేర్ ఈక్వల్ సి అంటే y యాక్సిస్ టచ్ చేస్తుంది. ఇట్ టచెస్ బోత్ ది యాక్సిస్, ఇట్ టచెస్ బోత్ ది యాక్సిస్. ఇలా వస్తుంది టచెస్ బోత్ ది యాక్సిస్ ఇలా. సో ఇది సెంటర్ అన్నమాట. ఈ డిస్టెన్స్ ఈక్వల్ అయిపోతుంది అంటే ఇలా ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు ఇలా రెండింటిని టచ్ చేస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఐ టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ ఎ ఫ్యూ మోర్ పాయింట్స్. ఇప్పుడు ఒక సర్కిల్ ఎక్స్ యాక్సిస్ టచ్ చేస్తున్నాం అనుకోండి, ఇలా ఉందనుకోండి, సర్కిల్ ఎక్స్ యాక్సిస్ ఇలా టచ్ చేయొచ్చు, ఇలా టచ్ చేయొచ్చు, ఎక్కడైనా ఇలా టచ్ చేసి ఉండొచ్చు, ఇలా కూడా టచ్ చేసి ఉండొచ్చు. ఇలా టచ్ చేసి ఉండొచ్చు ఎక్స్ యాక్సిస్. ఇలా వై యాక్సిస్ కూడా అలా కట్ చేసి ఉండొచ్చు, అలా కట్ చేసి ఇక్కడ టచ్ చేసి ఉండొచ్చు. ఇలా ఆరిజిన్ నుంచి పోతూ ఎక్స్ యాక్సిస్ని టచ్ చేయొచ్చు, ఆరిజిన్ దగ్గరే టచ్ చేస్తూ ఉండొచ్చు. So you will find infinite number of circles which will touch the x-axis. Now, similarly for y-axis also. కానీ రెండు కోఆర్డినేట్స్ని టచ్ చేసే సర్కిల్స్ ఎన్ని ఉంటాయి? రెండు కోఆర్డినేట్స్ని టచ్ చేయాలంటే సర్కిల్స్ ఎన్ని ఉంటాయంటే ఇలా ఒక సర్కిల్ గీయచ్చు. దిస్ ఈజ్ అ సర్కిల్ టచింగ్ ది x-axis in the first quadrant. This is a circle touching both the axes and lies in the second quadrant. This is a circle touching both the axes and lies in the third quadrant, and this is a circle touches both the axes and lies in the fourth quadrant. So you will get only 4 circles which touches both the axes and completely lies in one quadrant. అంటే ఇప్పుడు దీని సెంటర్ ఇది తీసుకుంటే ఇది ఎంత అవుతుంది r, ఇది ఎంత అవుతుంది ra, అంటే దీని సెంటర్ r కామా r అవుతుంది. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏం రాయొచ్చు, ఈక్వేషన్ ఆఫ్ ది సర్కిల్ టచింగ్ both the axes whose radius r and whose radius is r and lies in the first quadrant, అంటే దీని సెంటర్ r కామా r అవుతుంది, రేడియస్ r అవుతుంది, ఫస్ట్ క్వాడ్రంట్. అంటే అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది x స్క్వేర్ ప్లస్ y స్క్వేర్ మైనస్ 2rx మైనస్ 2ry ప్లస్ r స్క్వేర్ ఈక్వల్ 0. ఎలా వచ్చినా మీకు డౌట్ రావచ్చు. ఇది r కామా r కాబట్టి x మైనస్ r హోల్ స్క్వేర్ ప్లస్ y మైనస్ r హోల్ స్క్వేర్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు r స్క్వేర్. అంటే ఇది x స్క్వేర్ ప్లస్ y స్క్వేర్ మైనస్ 2rx మైనస్ 2ry plus r square plus r square. One r square gets cancelled plus r square. So that is the circle lies in the first quadrant. The second quadrant వచ్చేటప్పటికి ఈ డిస్టెన్స్ r, ఈ డిస్టెన్స్ కూడా r, ఈ డిస్టెన్స్ కూడా r. కానీ ఇక్కడ సెకండ్ క్వాడ్రంట్ కాబట్టి సెంటర్ ఏమవుతుందంటే డిస్టెన్స్ r, కానీ పాయింట్ వైజ్ నోటేషన్లో ఏమవుతుందంటే x కోఆర్డినేట్ నెగిటివ్, y కోఆర్డినేట్ పాజిటివ్ అవ్వాలి. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేటప్పటికి ఈ డిస్టెన్స్ r, ఈ డిస్టెన్స్ కూడా ఆర్ రేడియస్ రెండు ఈక్వల్. కానీ థర్డ్ క్వాడ్రంట్లో ఉండే కూడా ఇదేమవుతుండే మైనస్ ఆర్ కమా మైనస్ ఆర్ అవుతుంది సెంటర్. అంటే ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేటికి ఫోర్త్ క్వాడ్రంట్లో ఈ డిస్టెన్స్ ఆర్ ఈ డిస్టెన్స్ ఆర్, కానీ ఇదేమవుతుంటే ఆర్ కామా మైనస్ ఆర్ అవుతుంది. అంటే ఇప్పుడు లైస్ ఇన్ ది సెకండ్ క్వాడ్రంట్, లైస్ ఇన్ ది సెకండ్ క్వాడ్రంట్ అంటే ఎక్స్ స్క్వేర్ ప్లస్ వై స్క్వేర్ ప్లస్ 2rx minus 2ry plus r square equal to 0. Lies in the third quadrant, lies in the third quadrant, x square plus y square plus 2rx plus 2ry plus r square equal to 0. Lies in the fourth quadrant, lies in the fourth quadrant, x square plus y square minus 2rx plus 2ry plus r square equal to 0. जनरल మనం ఏం రాస్తాం x square y square plus r minus 2rx plus r minus 2ry plus r square equal to 0 రాస్తాం. plus r minus very good for class. These are the four circles which touches the both quadrants. Okay, so that is what the touching the circles. Note, if g square minus c less than 0, the circle neither cuts nor touches x-axis. If f square minus c less than 0, the circle neither cuts nor touches y-axis.